What's up, you guys? Welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today, we're going to be continuing our full set review of Notorious with the uncommons. If you guys stuck through the last one for like the whole almost hour of it, then thanks a lot. I'm going to try to make this one go a little quicker. There was just a lot of commons and a lot to talk about. So, starting us off here with the uncommons, we have Omac, who is just a cool little robot dude. And take a look at his card here. He's got Project Cadmus, Robot, and Spy. The trait here, updating protocols. Omac starts the game on click number 6. And then once per turn, when another friendly Omac is KO'd, after resolutions, you may heal him 2 clicks. He may heal past the starting line this way. Now this dude's 25 points, and you only get 1 click of health to start with. And you basically just have to run him out there and let him die so that your other Omacs all get to heal 2 clicks, which would put them here at Sidestep, Blades, and Power. And then you have to let one of those die so that the other ones can heal up 2 more clicks here to the Charge Super Strength. And then if you want to get to the Hypersonic Exploit, yeah, you need to have like another one die. So I do not think it's worth it at all, in my opinion. I'm kind of let down by this figure. There were so many good, goons in the commons that this generic kind of robot dude is just not good compared to all the other goons. For 25 points, too, I could see having a trait like that and maybe being like 10 points or something. Just overwhelm your opponent with a ton of these. And that way, you're not giving up as many points every time one KOs, right? So, I don't know, 25 points is kind of a lot for an effect like that. I mean, sure, the rest of them become, decent with the sidestep, blades, and power once one of them dies, but you already had to give up 25 points just for that. They do get pretty strong with the charge, super strength, and everything once 2 of them die, but you've given up 50 points now, and how many of these guys do you have left on your team to benefit from that, So, yeah, I don't really love this. This is it's really, really horrible and sealed and everything because you really just have to not play them at all or try to run them away and hide because it's just such an easy 25 points for your opponent to score. If they don't hit their shape change, then they're just dying instantly. So, yeah, not much else to say about this guy. He's just not good, unfortunately. But up next, we have the Prime version, Omac Prime, who looks fairly similar here. A few little differences in his appearance there, but for the most part, it looks the same as the regular versions. However, he is quite a bit more powerful, coming in at 175 or 100 points. He also has Project Cadmus, Brute, Robot, and Spy keywords. A trait that says Omac Prime can use the displayed standard powers of adjacent opposing characters. So that's pretty good, actually. That can kind of catch people off guard. They charge in there. They happen to have super senses. You're like, okay, I'm going to roll for senses. And they're like, what? Oh, you get my super senses. Whoops. So yeah, it can come in handy, if they got prob, then you can prob it, whatever. It is pretty strong, and he does have some pretty great stats and powers. Hypersonic, super strength, either invincible or invulnerable, close combat expert, 11 for 5 or 10 for 4. So he's got 12 for 6 top dial. And, he might be able to get flurry or something. So yeah, he's pretty strong. 9 clicks is really long. He's got some steel energy to heal up and everything. I was a fan of this figure originally, but I did play him actually in the teams sealed at Worlds, and he did not do well for me, unfortunately. He is very susceptible to outwit. The outwit is invincible, and they just have the whole team swarm him, and he goes down surprisingly quick for having 9 clicks of health and getting all those other powers. You'd think, they outwit something, and he'd still have something else to gain, but I don't know. It just didn't work out for me, unfortunately. He also has this other trait that gives him leadership, but increases action total +2. Instead of +1 if he's on a theme team, which is nice, but he's 175 points, or even just 100. It doesn't leave you a lot of room to use those extra actions for, unfortunately. But I guess if you're just playing him with a frick ton of Omacs, so they can all heal themselves up and everything, that's probably what that's kind of there for. When an opposing character is KO'd by a friendly character with the robot keyword after resolutions, you can generate a number 19A Omac for free. So that's cool. And then free action KO and adjacent bystander. That takes people by surprise a lot. They do not know that he has that ability sometimes, and it's really easy to just get some, get some bystanders out of the way quick and easy. I want to like him. He's a lot of points, unfortunately, but he does have a lot going for him. He does have decent stats and powers. Every time he KOs something, he can bring in more Omacs. I think it would probably be fun to play a team of him and just all Omacs. So they, just kind of a swarm team that way would be cool. But otherwise, yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of really competitive effectiveness. If he was less points, maybe, but he's just a lot of points. And he's just really susceptible to outwit, like I said. And I've had bad experiences with him. I only had like one good game where he actually really pulled his weight. So I don't really have too much nice stuff to say about him, unfortunately. Yeah, he's just definitely not the prime that you would want to pull, I'll say that much. But moving right along here, we have the uncommon Riddler. We did take a look at the OP Kit Riddler in the first video, so if you missed him, check that out. But let's see what the regular uncommon Riddler here can do. He does have Batman enemy team ability, Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Underworld, Legion of Doom, and Detective keywords. Riddle me this: adjacent friendly characters have Safeguard, opposing probability control. If you weren't the first player, opposing characters within range have Safeguard, friendly probability control. So that's pretty great. Basically, anybody adjacent to him can't be probbed by your opponent. And if you went second, then everybody within range, all of your opposing characters within range, can't be probbed by their friendlies. So we've seen a similar effect in the Spider-Man Beyond Amazing set with the common Black Cat. She was really, really good for 20 points. This dude's coming in at 50 or 35. So, a little bit more expensive to get that similar effect, but she didn't have the one where adjacent friendlies are Safeguard opposing prob. So you do get a little more out of it. For 35 points, not bad. You do get an outwit as well, although I think she has prob to start, so I still kind of like Black Cat a little more. But regardless, he's not bad. Leap, climb, kind of whatever, 10 attack, whatever, but you do have at least Batman enemy team ability. Super senses for 50 or willpower on the 35, but now he does have a special damage power here that gives him outwit, and when Riddler uses it to target an opposing character that was targeted by Perplex since your last turn, after resolutions, deal that character 1 damage. So that's pretty interesting. If you got a Perplexer on your team, he can outwit somebody that you've perplexed and deal them a damage. That's really cool. It kind of plays well with the Legacy Riddler we got in Batman Team Up, who has, Perplex and all kinds of cool mission point effects for his Perplexes and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, just a cool, cheap outwitter that does some weird prob things to mess with your opponent. That's always nice. I really do like the free damage thing on the 50-point line with that special outwit, but otherwise, I think 35 points is definitely the way to go. You still get an outwit regardless, and you still have that really awesome way to mess with your opponent's probs and everything. So I do like that a lot, and I think he's playable for sure. But up next, we've got Gorilla Grod, or I guess just Grod in this case. Just looks like a regular monkey. He is based off the Super Friends animated series, so he's kind of got that old school look to him. He's got the Gorilla City, Legion of Doom, Animal, and Ruler keywords. He's got a trait that says Mind Control, Leadership. When Grod uses Leadership and succeeds, after resolutions, you may move a friendly character with the Animal keyword up to 3 squares. That's not too bad. There's a lot of really good animals that could benefit from that. Then you've got Invuln and Mastermind on his defense, which is a pretty strong defense to have. Improved movement elevated, charge, super strength, close combat expert. He's a good up-close fighter. He does go up to a 19 defense with toughness on those last few clicks. Flurry, he's got high attack the whole time, 11s to 12, like high damage. Yeah, not too bad at all, honestly. Traded mind control could always come in handy too. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's not quite worth 75 points, in my opinion. He doesn't really do anything else. I think if he was like 50, maybe even 60 points, he would be fine. I think he's just a little overcosted for me personally, but he is kind of just a nice little, beat stick with the charged super strength, close combat expert, and the mind control can kind of take people by surprise. And he's got pretty high stats the whole time, so like I said, I can't really say he's horrible, but I don't love him, and I just feel like he's a little overcosted. So yeah, overall, he's okay. But up next, we've got the Black Hand. And this guy gets points just for being a Black Lantern. Like, he doesn't really have to do anything else. He's got Black Lantern keyword, so that's going to make him better by default, because once we get to the chases, maybe even in the rares, you'll probably see how good the Black Lanterns are going to be, if you don't know already. But yeah, Black Lantern Core, Herald, and Monster keyword. You've got the trait here that says free, generate a grave hindering terrain marker within range. If any characters were KO'd this turn, generate 2 instead. Not bad. Perplex. When Black Hand uses it, he can target characters occupying or adjacent to any friendly grave terrain marker, regardless of range or line of fire. Not bad at all. So for 115 points, he's got Running Shot, Penetrating Blast, Mastermind, Outwit, improved targeting for hindering terrain is not bad. I will say that's not really worth it. Definitely want to play him at 50 points. You got Stealth, TK, Mastermind, and that special Perplex. So yeah, you can just be generating those grave terrain markers, perplexing people, TKing people around. He's really, useful for the Black Lanterns. And if you don't already know, Necron, who's a rare, does allow for Black Lanterns to be healed past their starting line. So if you got somebody with support who's also Black Lantern, they can heal him. So just for 50 points, he can basically have that full dial pretty quickly and easily if you really want to. But yeah, I think he's pretty playable for 50 points. I like the, Perplex TK and everything. And Stealth Mastermind is pretty nice too, defensively. And yeah, if you choose to heal him up past his starting line, if you're playing him that way, then for 50 points for that 115 point dial is pretty good. It's just pretty crazy to me that those extra 3 clicks are like basically 65 points, I guess. Because that's 115. That's just too much, I think. It seems a little ridiculous, so I can't really see playing him for that point value. If you're not lucky enough to get like all the Black Lantern chases or anything, he's definitely a good filler for that team. Just to have some TK and Perplex is not bad, and heal him up past the start line. He's a good range attacker, so yeah, all in all, he's pretty good. Up next, we've got Lightning Lord here, who is, he's Lightning Lord. I don't really know much about him. He's from that same Absolute Power storyline, I think, with the Superman and Batman we saw in the commons. Anyway, so Legion of Supervillains future. He's a team player, so that's nice. Perplex. When Lightning Lord uses it, he may count squares for range and line of fire from friendly characters with the Legion of Supervillains keyword. If Lightning Lord is 100 points, he can use Perplex twice a turn. Not bad. So 100 is full dial, then you've got 70 or 40 points. And I think he's pretty decent at every point value there. So first of all, the trait of Perplex is really nice, whether or not you're using it through other people's squares. Even just to perplex his own stats is pretty good. For 40 points, Running Shot, Range Combat Expert, that's 11 for 3 damage, essentially, for 40 points. Perplexes attack up to 12, or his defense up to 18. Not too bad, but I do like him a little better for 70 for the Running Shot Pulse Wave and the enhancement, although that's a little bit counterintuitive, because you don't really want to use Pulse Wave because you have to be adjacent to people for the enhancement, so it's like you're only using one or the other most of the time. But then 100 points for the Running Shot Pulse Wave, 12 attack, and 19 defense is really nice, and you get the double perplex, which is cool. So he does also have another trait that if he's on a theme team, when he uses team player, he may instead choose a copyable team ability an opposing character can use. That's actually really cool. In case you don't have any really, really good ones to use, you could steal one of your opponents to use their copyable team abilities. So that does give him a little more, uniqueness and utility there. Very cool. I don't know. Overall, he's not amazing because 100 points is a lot just to get the extra perplex. I mean, think about it this way. You could play 2 of them for 40 points and you'd have 2 perplexes, right? And then you'd still be saving 20 points. So it is what it is. I don't know. He's decent enough. He was actually pretty good in sealed for the pulse wave and everything. I have had to deal with a couple of him, and I don't know. I think the willpower just isn't great. I think it should be switched. I feel like having the super senses up top would be a little better for the higher point lines to give him more of a defense. But Overall, yeah, he's okay. But up next, we've got Cyborg Man, who is from the Harley Quinn animated series. So if you haven't watched that, it's a pretty good show. Check it out. There's a lot of characters from that show in this set. And the first one we have here is Cyborg Man. So he's got Gotham City Underworld, past, robot, soldier, spy, and vehicle keywords. Which is going to make an impact in the next set. And when Wheels of Vengeance comes out, vehicle keyword will matter. So yeah, he's got a trait that gives him Passenger 2 or Passenger 6, but only to carry characters with the Gotham City Underworld keyword, which isn't bad. That's, you know, a lot of decent characters with that now. Then you've got another trait that says Cyborg Man and adjacent friendly characters that share a keyword with him have Safeguard Mind Control, which is kind of random, but pretty nice. 45 points for 8 movement, taxi with leap climb, carrying up to 6 people that share underworld keyword. But yeah, that's about all he does is just carry people around. He's got some perplex to help the team otherwise, and invuln so he can take a good hit if you got some mastermind, and just mastermind it to him. And yeah, then he's got some support once he takes a hit so he can heal somebody else up. So he's all right. He's a good taxi for Underworld. That's the main thing. And at least he also has Perplex, so he's still kind of doing something for you. So I would say he's kind of niche. He kind of has a niche use just as a really good taxi for a specific keyword. And, you know, I mean, just even Passenger 2, though, for Sealed isn't too bad. It's pretty useful. But yeah, his effectiveness definitely scales a lot higher once you put him on the right kind of team. Otherwise, he's not that great. There's definitely better things for 45 points. So he's pretty good. I don't love him, but he's not bad at all. And up next, we've got Sinestro here. And of course, again, this is the Super Friends Legion of Doom Sinestro here. So he's got his classic purple costume. He does have the Injustice League team ability. Injustice League, in Legion of Doom, Secret Society of Supervillains, Sinestro Corps, Herald, and Ruler keywords. Coming in at 90 or 60 points. Leading by Fear, Leadership, friendly characters with the Sinestro Corps keyword have the Injustice League team ability, which is nice. If you don't know, it says when this character hits an opposing character with an attack roll of 10 or 12, after resolutions, remove an action token from them. So whenever they hit a good roll, you can remove their tokens. Not bad. And he gives that same team ability to all Sinestro Corps keyworded characters. And traded leadership on top of that's nice. And then he has Perplex, but only to negatively modify combat values. And then when a friendly character with the Injustice League team ability attacks an opposing character that has a negatively modified combat value, their attack rolls of 10 and 11 are critical hits. So that's pretty nice. On top of removing their own token, it's going to be a crit hit. So this guy's definitely a good leader for both Injustice League teams as well as Sinestro Corps teams, since he's given them all the team ability. And yeah, just running shot, penetrating blast, you know, energy shield, shape change, or otherwise you got sidestep precision, which is not bad. 90 or 60, he's a lot of points. That's kind of the only downside here. He feels like a lot of points. He can get the ring equipped for free, and he can make free constructs and everything, so that is a bonus. You know, and just hand out the team ability and potentially making their 10s and 11s critical hits is pretty strong. I don't know. It's like he's very situational. He has a lot of really powerful effects that are just something you're not going to see super consistently. So for that reason, he's not like super amazing high tier competitive, but he is a really cool figure nonetheless, and he's definitely going to see play on some Sinestro Corps teams as like a good cheap leader. I still like the super rare from Batman Team Up better. He's a little stronger, but this one's not bad at all, especially for an uncommon. Moving right along, next up is Brainiac, and he does look pretty cool here. I like this this look for Brainiac. Looks pretty awesome. But taking a look at what he can do here, he does have the team player team ability, so he can copy stuff. Injustice League, Cosmic, Robot, and Scientist keywords. Pretty good selection there. He does also have traded leadership. When he uses it, friendly characters within range that share a keyword with him are considered adjacent to him. So that's pretty awesome. He does have a 5 range, so he can leadership tokens off people 5 scores away from him. That's pretty awesome. But then his damage power here that he gets on his back half of his dial gives him Outwit, and when he uses it to target a character that can use Impervious and chooses a defense power, modify the target's combat values by -1 until your next turn, protected Outwit. So that's pretty awesome. He has Outwit, protected Outwit. if nothing else, you know, even if you don't manage to get that -1 to their stats because they have to have impervious. But yeah, sidestep, pulse wave, super senses, and prob for 80 points isn't too bad. Otherwise, only 30 points to get some precision, energy shield, and that special outwit is pretty cool. Either way, he's got that super leadership. I think I like him a little bit better for the 30-point line, just for the, you know, ranged leadership, as well as, you know, the special outwit and the team player team ability on top of everything. But yeah, for 80 points, not bad. You know, he's got some sidestep, pulse wave, prob. That's 3 very powerful powers to have. So I do like him for both point values. One thing I will say so far is that even though he's pretty much, you know, perfectly fine figure, I feel like the commons in general are better in this set than the uncommons. I haven't really been super wowed by any of the uncommons so far, and we're, you know, only got a few left, but there's a lot of really good commons in this set, and the uncommons just seem a little lacking. Though I do feel like that happens kind of in a lot of sets. The uncommons just for some reason aren't quite as good. Anyway, that's just my thoughts in general of the uncommons, of the whole game even. But anyway, as far as Brainiac, yeah, he's overall just kind of decent, just like the rest of them. Anyway, moving along, next we have the Gentleman Ghost, and I actually love the sculpt on this guy. I just want to point out the attention to detail. Like, you can see his monocle and his hat, and it's kind of held up by, like, his hat is held up like by his monocle and his collar there. It's so cool. It's so well done, because like there's no, it's, you know, there's no head in there. It's invisible or whatever. So just really, really cool sculpt on that guy. I like that a lot. But anyway, just taking a look at his card here to see what he can do. He does have Mystics and Suicide Squad team abilities. The Ghost Realm keyword, Secret Society of Supervillains, Suicide Squad, Monster, Mystical, and Past. Lots of decent keywords there. Trait that says adjacent opposing characters can't use attack powers or the effect of equipment. Ooh, that's pretty strong, actually. Not being able to use any attack powers or any equipment effects for any adjacent opposing characters. That's pretty nuts for an uncommon, I will say. Now, next he has Super Senses. When Gentleman Ghost uses it and succeeds after resolutions, deal the attacker 1 penetrating damage. Not bad at all. Phasing Teleport, some ranged combat expert. Nothing too crazy there on the stats. He does also have improved targeting, though, to make ranged attacks while adjacent, which is nice for the ranged combat expert at least, because he'll at least have 11 for 3, even kind of up close, right? Then you got some stealth, precision strike, and outwit on the end, so not too bad there either. And yeah, I mean, Suicide Squad to heal up if, you know, one of them gets KO'd. You got Mystics to be dealing some damage back at them. Flight, phase teleport, not bad at all. Honestly, I think this is probably the best uncommon yet. I know I literally just said at Brainiac that, like, none of them have really wowed me so far. Like, they've all been just kind of decent. I think this is probably the best one so far. This is the first time I'm like, oh, wow, that's a really strong effect on an uncommon. That trait is very good. You know, too bad Pulp doesn't allow equipment. Otherwise, he could definitely see a lot of play in Pulp. You know, I think he could maybe see some play here and there in regular constructed. Just for that trait to shut off the effective equipment is really strong. And also shutting off attack powers too can be pretty good. So they can't use like super strength or quake or blades or precision strike or anything pulse wave, nothing crazy like that. So yeah, I mean, overall, I would say he's definitely the best of the uncommons so far. But next up, we've got Harley Quinn from the Harley Quinn animated series. You know, they did a good job, just like they always do on all those animated series clicks, just making them look like they're right out of the show. So I always want to point that out. I think they do a really good job on that, so congrats there. But she's actually pretty good. I do like this Harley Quinn a lot. She does have Batman enemy team ability and the team player team ability, so she's a wild card. Arkham Asylum, Batman Family, Gotham City Underworld, Legion of Doom, Suicide Squad, and Scientist keywords. Great selection there. Her trait here is really useful. When establishing themed teams, Harley Quinn may choose a character that shares a keyword with her. That character gains the Gotham City Underworld keyword. Very good. Love that a lot. You know, just with scientists, there's so many good scientist characters. But even like Batman Family and Gotham City, there's a lot of good characters there to bring onto a Gotham City Underworld team. So keyword cheating is always really, really good. That's definitely a really strong effect to have. Improved movement for characters is nice. but she does have Leap Climb anyway, which is kind of a meh power in general. Then you've got Quake, Super Sense's Leadership. I do kind of wish she had maybe like a 25 or 30 point line here to start with the Charge Close Combat Expert. But yeah, either way, you got some Steel Energy there to heal her up. And yeah, not too shabby all around. You do have another trait here, actually, I almost forgot about, that's free. Make an attack targeting an opposing character that attacked Harley Quinn or another friendly character with the Gotham City Underworld keyword since your last turn. When Harley Quinn attacks a character that damaged a friendly character named Poison Ivy since your last turn, modify her attack and damage +1. So kind of like a retaliation styled effect there. So just whenever your opponent attacks her or one of your other friendly Gotham City Underworld characters, she gets a free attack on them, which makes her Leap Climb not so bad, so she can kind of just run up in there with the Leap Climb and get a free attack on somebody, like full move, free attack, which is pretty good, especially if you get the +1 attack and damage if they happen to go against, you know, an Ivy, which we will see the rare Ivy in the next video, and she is really good. So they're a really, really strong combo together, the two of them. So yeah, just the retail, the keyword cheating, having a decent overall dial for the points. Again, she's one of the better uncommons for sure. Up next, we've got Mirror Master. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen this guy in Clicks. I think like the Flash set might be the last time that I remember seeing him. But yeah, taking a look at his dial here, he does have the Suicide Squad team ability. He's got Central City, Injustice League, Rogues, Secret Society, Supervillains, Suicide Squad, and Assassin keywords. Ooh, Assassin. Assassin's very nice for the target trait. But he's got a special defense power that says, Super Senses. When Mirror Master uses it and succeeds after resolutions, he may generate a number 29 Mirror Master on click number 7. So just another one of himself on that click right there, number 7. And then within range, this game, that character is not scored when KO'd. When Mirror Master uses Super Senses, increase the result +1 if one or more adjacent characters are named Mirror Master. Protected Outwit. Ooh, Protected Outwit on the Super Senses. And you can generate them anywhere within range, which is really nice, but you're going to want to generate them probably adjacent anyway to get the +1 on the Super Senses. So yeah, not bad. 55 points. If he was an even 50, that would be nice. But improved movement for elevated, blocking, and characters is really good. Running shot, precision strike, some enhancement. You know, he only does 1 damage, but at least he's got precision, so it's going to get through no matter what. And the enhancement's nice. So once you get a bunch of these guys popping out, and they're all enhancing each other up, you know, you can start dealing like 4 damage or something crazy. I think that's literally the reason probably they got him at 1 damage, because it'd start getting pretty crazy once you get a few of these guys out there. But yeah, otherwise, you know, he's got a cool little gimmick there to make more of himself. So he's the main uncommon you're probably going to want to pull multiples of. But he still kind of just feels like a fun figure to me. You know, he's really fun if you pull that Super Senses off and, you know, spawn some more of them and everything. He does kind of also help with the Suicide Squad TA, because every time you generate one, they're going to have that. So you could potentially get a lot of healing across your team with Suicide Squad TA from all the Mirror Masters and everything. But yeah, and all the extra enhancements, nice. So I don't know, on a Suicide Squad team, I think he could actually be kind of decent. But otherwise, yeah, he's kind of just a fun figure overall. But up next, it's everyone's second favorite starfish, Staright here. And I love the little sculpt on this guy. And if you guys haven't heard, we are going to be getting a bunch more of these little dudes with the bag of Starights that's going to come out with the DC starter set for 2024. So hopefully your local shop gets some of those. It's supposed to just be like given out or whatever. So I think that comes out in like December or something. I'm not really too sure. But anyway, Secret Society of Supervillains, Sinestro Core, and Animal and Cosmic. I didn't even realize this guy had Sinestro Core keyword, I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I'm realizing that for some reason as I'm reading it right now. That's crazy. So he gets the ring for free, which is a hilarious image to think of him having the ring on, and, you know, making constructs and stuff. That's cool, though. He's power cosmic also, which is really cool. But yeah, if another friendly character has the cosmic and ruler keywords, modify Starofight's attack +1. At the beginning of the game, if a friendly character is named Starro, generate a Starofight on click number 1. So that's cool. If you just play one of these guys, they get to generate another one for free if you have a Starro. So we don't currently have a Starro, but there's a lot of talk that, at least not in modern age, but there's a lot of talk that because of this guy, we're probably going to either get a convention-exclusive Starro next year, or we might get potentially like a Colossal Booster Starro in the next DC set. Either way, I'm here for it. You know, we definitely need a new Starro, that's for sure. But yeah, Mind Control, Flight, Poison, 11 attack, 2 damage, Super Sense Shape Change, Tiny Size also, so he can be carried around, and just poison people. He's hard to hit with the double rollouts. Mind Control is nice. You got some Precision Strike later. 40 points, I feel like, is kind of the only downside here. I wish he was a little bit lower, like 25, 30 points. I feel like would have felt better for him. But overall, not bad. You know, I've seen him do pretty well in Sealed, just get carried around and then mind control somebody. And, you know, he's just super annoying to hit because you can't outwit him, and he's got the double rollouts. So for all those reasons, he's fun. He's a really cool, fun little Starro fight guy. I don't know what the ones that are coming out later are going to do, and we don't know if we're getting a Starro anytime soon or not, but hopefully we do, and hopefully they're good. And, you know, once we have that, it definitely might make this guy a lot better. Who knows? And up next, we've got Captain Cold, who I believe this one is also from the Super Friends Legion of Doom with the old school outfit. So yeah, he's actually pretty cool, pun intended. So Central City, Legion of Doom, Rogues, and Suicide Squad. He is a wild card, so he can copy team abilities. Leadership, when Captain Cold uses it and succeeds, this turn friendly characters automatically break away. Not bad. Then you've got 5 range double target, sidestep, barrier, range combat expert, and his special attack power cold gun, incapacitate. When Captain Cold hits, after resolutions, he may generate an ice blocking terrain marker adjacent to a hit character. This game, that terrain marker has adjacent characters must roll breakaway to move if they don't already. At the beginning of your next turn, even if this is lost, remove it. So you can lock people up with some ice blocking terrain markers. You can just incap them on top of that. Like, he's really good at, you know, just locking people up, double target incap, you know, maybe give somebody a second token. Maybe the other target didn't, they're just getting the first token, so you put the block next to them so they have to break away or whatever. Not too shabby. Otherwise, just shooting with ranged combat experts, good. Just having barrier, not bad. Yeah, 60-40. I like him for 60 for the sidestep, but he's not bad at 40 either. He does have like the same stats, but he just has plasticity instead. So, you know, it's whatever. It is what it is. He's a fun figure for sure. He does do pretty well in Sealed. I got some good use out of him in Sealed. And just shooting people with ranged combat expert and putting a blocking terrain marker next to them is pretty good. But overall, I think he kind of suffers from the same thing that all the Legion of Doom common and uncommon figures in this set do suffer from, which is just generally feeling a little overcosted and, you know, not feeling super powerful or anything, which, I mean, I guess it's pretty accurate, right? I guess that makes them pretty accurate because, you know, I don't remember the show too well, but I don't think any of them were super threatening or overpowered or anything. So, you know, maybe they're just kind of fodder for the heroes to beat up, I guess. I don't know. But he's a fun figure regardless. All right, last but not least, for the uncommons here, we do have Zod, who is one of the better uncommons, I think. He's a little high on points as well, but this guy's pretty powerful, as he should be for being a Kryptonian and everything. So Superman enemy TA does give him essentially full dial outwit, which is great. Kryptonian, ruler, and soldier keywords. Kneel before Zod. Free. Choose an opposing character within 4 squares in line of fire. Both you and that character's controller roll 2d6. If the chosen character is less than 90 points, increase your result by +2. If your result is higher, give that character an action token. If you can't give them an action token, deal them 1 unavoidable damage instead. So that's just a really strong effect to have for free. You know, you pick the right target, especially at the right time when they're already double tokened. It's just a free penetrating damage. You know, it's super easy to roll higher if they're, you know, lower points than you. You get that +2 to your roll and everything. You know, unless your dice are really cold and your opponent's dice are really hot, like, it's going to get some free damage in for you. Or at the very least, a free couple action tokens. It's like a free end cap almost, which is really nice. Improved targeting hindering is good. Definitely a good way to give him that effect without giving him Superman TA. But yeah, flight, running shot, 12 attack, 4 damage, penetrating blast, 18 invincible, leadership. You know, like I said, you got the outwit from the team ability. He's very strong top dial. Then even sidestep, range combat expert, and then back down into some super strength, charge, close combat expert. You know, dealing potentially 6 damage there with some terrain and everything. Very strong still, this whole dial. Definitely worth the 90 points, in my opinion. This guy's a monster in Sealed. I think he's going to see some play in Pulp as well. And yeah, he's just a really cool figure, really well done Zod, in my opinion. And like I said, I think he's like top 3 of the uncommons. Like I said, I wasn't super impressed by most of the uncommons. I think between him, Harley Quinn, and Gentleman Ghosts are like my top 3 for the uncommons. The rest of them are all kind of just fun, so that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you just like playing villain teams for fun, then there's a lot of fun ones here. But I think, you know, there's a lot more competitive pieces just in the commons, which is just how it is sometimes. But that's going to do it, you guys. Make sure to let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video or got anything out of it, make sure you smash the like button. It does help me out a lot. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. But if you'd like to help support the channel even more, you can also check the links in the description for our Patreon, so you can see your name here in the credits with all these other awesome people, or also hit that join button right there for the YouTube membership. Either way, for as little as $1 a month, you get entered into our monthly Patreon giveaways. So if that interests you, make sure to check that out. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks again so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.